Wow. No, I'm not gonna do it today. I can't. I just I just don't have it in me. What up, though, Pride Nation? Welcome back to another Field Review podcast show, where today is all about you guys, the fans and the subscribers. And so literally I'm just going to be free balling the entire thing. Now there's obviously some topics out there that I can obviously discuss. So those will be somewhat in the midst of it. But I'm completely doing this a little bit different. In other words, you guys are now in full control. I don't care what team you talk about. You talk about anything that's pertaining to football, we will discuss it. Anything you want to ask me, I will do my best to try to answer it or get you some direction or at least some logic put on it. And so if I can get that done, I will. But this is more of a takeover for you guys because I know a lot of you have questions and ideas and different things like that. And so my attitude is why not? Let's talk about it. Until I can figure out how I can get my intro back, I'm just gonna rock with it, man. So we got a lot of people in the building today. BD Buster, Ghost Gunner, Looney Tunes, Joey 2 Times, One Pride 40, Midwest Lion. Let's see. Let's keep this thing going now. 28 days to the draft. Is it that close? Let's see. We got One Pride 40. Let me see. Keep going. We got Aaron Burden, D-Town, Motown Football, Angelo. Let's see. Make sure I ain't missing nobody. I don't want nobody to say I missed them. Blue Jay Sarge. We got it all. So, off rip, whatever you want to ask away, and I'll work my way through it. Show probably be a little bit shorter than usual. I got a few things I got to knock out personally in the house. So that's, the thing. But I want to make sure I stay to this commitment if I can and get it popping. And right out the gate, we got our first question, which is, what should the Falcons do with their pick? Brilliant. To me, the answer is more obvious than most people may think. And I know it's going to be an answer that I don't think most people are going to think about. I would take another damn offensive lineman. I have a certain view when it comes to certain things. We always look at these teams trying to do this quote-unquote rebuild or build or retool or whatever you want to call it. And the first thing they do is, we got to get a quarterback. Well, who in the hell is going to protect them? Like, Alex Mack is aging. It's time for you to start looking for his replacement. You just drafted a few young guys. I would look to complete that process. If that's not the route that they want to go, then for me, the next best thing they can do is take a quarterback, because that's the only thing that they're going to have a hole in real soon, so they can get from underneath that contract, which is killing most of their opportunities, in my opinion. What up, though, Luke and all Lions fans? That's from Blue Jay Sarge. Let's see. What else y'all got for me? Top 3 linebackers in this draft. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a really good question. All right. I'm just going to be honest. All these linebackers got certain problems to me. They all got them. But I would go, number 1 would be Jock. That's Notre Dame linebacker. I cannot pronounce his name, and I'm just going to leave it at J-O-K. Number 2 for me will probably be Jamin Davis. Just because I think he can fit in any defense, and based on what I've watched of him, it doesn't look like he's limited in what his skill set can do. Number 3, I'm going to probably go out here on a limb on this one, because this is somebody that's probably not going to get the love and attention that they got, but I think he's going to be a stellar player, and that is probably going to be Ohio State's Brownie. Again, I'm looking at guys a little bit different from y'all. I'm looking at guys who, if I put them in a 3-4, I can still find a role for them. If I put them in a 4-3, I can still find a role for them. These different defenses that I'm looking at. And so that's how I'm viewing it, but that would be my top 3 in this draft. I like Bolton. I'm not saying he's not that guy, but in my opinion, Bolton sometimes is so reactionary versus just, stopping a little bit to smell the roses. I think he can get more done if he slowed down a little bit and quit trying to knock people's head off. I like Xavier Collins, but I believe he's a 3-4 outside linebacker, and you're going to get your best out of him in that position. So that's just my view on him. What is the likelihood of Pitts falling to 7? Real damn good. Because I think that if you are a team like the Falcons, who is sitting up there saying to themselves, I want more options, then I can see them trading back and saying, I can still get my guy and trade back, and I'm not going to panic about it. If you're a team like the Bengals, I can see the Bengals falling where they can be a team that falls back. So I think the chance of him falling is really freaking good. And I think that, the question becomes at that point, if you're sitting up there with Slater or Sewell or Sewell, how you pronounce his name, if you sit up there with them guys and Jamar Chase and hell, I don't know, Zach Wilson, let's say hypothetically this happens, is you now going to go and look at Kyle Pitts still? Probably not. But do I think he can fall? 100%. Do you think Sewell has the mean streak to run block? I don't. I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but we did a live, or maybe it was my channel. I'm trying to think. I feel like it most definitely was on the Hook Cam channel. So if you go to the Hook Cam channel, we did a live film study of 3 linemen, Darashaw, which we were not impressed with, Sewell, and then we did Slater. And the first thing that we both noticed in his film was, it was like, yo, he's not always aggressive or punishing and run block. And there was a few goal line plays where we were just like, yo, I want to see him punish that dude. It's a linebacker. You should be bodying him. And if you go and look at his film and compare it to other people's film, you see people getting bodied to the bleachers. And you're not seeing that with this guy. But where he block you, yeah, he'll get in your way. He'll block you. He'll be good enough to get some people stopped. And I think that's what matters. But if you're asking for a guy to be like Quentin Nelson or Alex Mack, who just want to be disrespectful to a blocker, I don't see that. Let me see. In the mix of the building, what's going on? Still waiting on you to send that message to me so we can get you on the show, bro. Midwest Lion says, question, what other linebackers should we target leading up to the draft? Also, do you think that Brad Holmes would take a chance on Malik Hooker? I think I made this comment before, so shout out to my fellow DSA members, Lions on the Prowl. They do a phenomenal job over there. So if you have not subscribed and like their stuff, then you shaming me and you shaming yourself because you're missing out on a good product. They brought this point of adding a safety, and I said I would not add a safety until after the draft. And the reason I said that is because, one, the price of a free agent safety at a veteran price will go down if I already have somebody in place that he's got to try to earn his spot with. Right now, safety, in my opinion, is the worst position group that we have going into this draft. But we are all looking at the first round and we're saying there's nobody worthy of taking that at the 7th spot. Okay, I get it, but it's our worst position. And so, to me, I can see him waiting. I can see him waiting a little bit and saying, okay, let me see what's going on. The biggest thing going to be is his injury history. And so, if you're getting a guy like Malik Hooker, how does he fit into what we're going to do defensively, and how is he going to do it if he's not healthy and on the field? In terms of linebackers that we should be targeting later in this draft, any of them linebackers from Ohio State, what's his name? Christian Harris from Alabama. Man, so many of these damn linebackers, and this is the problem with it. When you got this many linebackers that I really like, it makes it hard on me. And I don't know what defense we running, so I'm just gonna give you guys that I think you can probably move around. Again, this is the only way I can do it until I'm 100% sure of who are the other linebackers. I don't have a way of doing it. I know everybody likes Jabril Cox. I know everybody likes Stewart. Everybody likes Bolton, but I like Monty Rice from Georgia. I think he could be another guy we can look at later. I think you can look at KJ Britt, another linebacker from Auburn. Let me see. Tony Fields, another linebacker from West Virginia. So you got some people out there. I think one of the names that you're probably not going to hear a lot of, but I think he could, depending on how we plan our defense, is Dorian Earthridge, linebacker from Louisville. the guy can play, in my opinion. And you probably wouldn't take a lot to get him. So, I wouldn't be shocked in that regard. What's the likelihood of no, wait, I did that one already. Let me go down one. Luke, what's the weakest position in this draft class? In my opinion, they can shoot me if they want to afterwards. The weakest position is the D line. I just feel like that this year's D linemen are just meh. There's a few people in there that like, oh, he might be about something. But for the overall view of it, it's just like, oh, okay. All right. I think that might be the weakest one. Another position I think is kind of weak but I think this is because most times people don't value it as much as I do. It's the running back position. Once I get through the first 8 or 9 running backs, it drops off significantly. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see that same trend happening in other spots too. Motown football, Luke, what's your favorite scenario of the draft? Here's my favorite scenario of the draft. The Detroit Lions trade their pick from 7 to 15. And in exchange, they take the 15th overall pick. They pick up a first. Let me go back. They get the 15th overall pick in this year's draft. And then in this year's draft, we also walk away with a second and a fourth. So now we went from 6 picks to 9. But then we also in next year's draft get a first and a second in 2023. This sets it up to where now we're out of the danger zone, in my opinion, to where now we got more draft capital, and we can now take a look at some other trades possibles. So how can I go from there? We trade again with the Washington football team, and now they have to add to us their pick at, I believe they're at 19. I'm sorry, they're at 19. So we get their pick at 19. All right, they're moving from 19 up a few spots. We'll take that pick at 19, and then we'll also turn around and get a second in next year's draft, a third and a sixth in this year's draft, and we'll send them over a fifth. So now you say, well, why give them the fifth? Because we will have a first, 2 seconds, 3 thirds, 2 fourths, and a sixth. Walla, bada, boom. And now you're wondering, well, who do you take at 19? The answer is going to shock everyone, but I want you to stay within my logic. At this point, you can literally just look at the holes on your list, and to me, there's no bigger hole than safety. You take the best available safety or linebacker that's on the board. I think that not only could a guy like Jock fall a little bit, you would not be shocked to see it happen. So in my opinion, you keep on trading back and building up draft capital, because next year is going to be the year where we're going to have more experience into something. You're going to see more people doing more trades, trying to get into position to get players, and you want to be in that position. So that's just the way I would do it. But I'm gonna be honest. My trading ass would be trading all kind of stuff. All right. Let me see. We got, what would be a same old Lions move at 7? Drafting a quarterback. I hate to say this. Drafting a quarterback. If you still had Stafford, that would not be a same old Lions move. The same old Lions move would be thinking you're smart and taking a DN like Jason Owe, because we need a D, but we don't. So then that would be a Lions move. But in this case, because you traded and you already know that you're going to at least play with Goff for at least 3 years, there's no reason to take a quarterback. It just isn't. He can't help you this year win. And you're going to be sitting there with an opportunity to do something different. So I say you just can't take a quarterback at this point. That's the same old Lions move to me. So because at that point he's going to sit. Or if that's the case, what are you going to do? Let that guy play in 2 years? At some point you got to figure it out. I just feel like the quarterback is not worthy. The receiver, we do need it as a whole, so I'm not going to kill them if they do it, but we need a receiver. Chris Wallace says, I'm in this thing. I'm glad you're here, bro. What are some late round sleepers you wouldn't mind the Lions grabbing? Ooh, depends on what position you telling me. Like, what you want to just period? If we're talking just period late round pieces, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we should probably get our receivers in those later rounds. Rounds 4, I'm gonna say like a late 3rd, early 4th. Take your receivers. Just you can get them out the way there. Everything up front needs to be offensive line first, defense, receiver. Then if you want to go defense again, you could, then receiver. I would go in that order. I think it makes the most sense. You know, I'm bringing the phone lines back too. I'm working on that. I'm gonna bring the phone lines back. I just got to be able to get it put up in the spot where my kids don't think that they are like getting ready to film their own show and get to playing with my stuff. So once I figure that part out, I'll be good. Finally caught another one. Yes, sir. Cornell Powell. Let me see. What up, though, Mr. Marcus 42? Let me see. Molden. CJ, what up, though? I am, bro. I just been listening more. I feel you, man. I appreciate it. I hope I get you on here. Slater in the first, Cisco in the second, Actress in the third. Hey, listen, slam dunk draft, you ask me. You mean to tell me I got my offensive line that completes that problem. I got a ball hawk safety that completes that problem. I know everybody don't like Chris Sims, and Chris Sims said a lot of weird stuff and crazy stuff, but I got to be honest. Chris Sims got Andre Cisco as his number 1 safety, and I think it makes sense for him. But I'm not going to argue with him. I like Richie Grant as the best all-around safety, but if I want a ball hawk, there's nobody who find themselves with the ball more than that guy. It's a reason he have 13 interceptions. Now, I know he had an injury. I know there's some other things you got to look at, but it's like, come on. A lot of people like Actress, huh? I don't think he's a bad player. I think that's why a lot of people like him. No chance you get all that. I can dream. He asked me for the best case scenario, and I think it's possible you could get all that because you talk about a team moving from 15 to 7. Look what some teams is doing to move one spot. I think we'd be just fine. I am 10 minutes away from the crib. Phone about to die. No, my bad, bro. Oh man, let me see. Let me keep going down. And then with the second, third pick, by still get a starting linebacker, it was a Brad Holmes first draft hand down best scenario. Okay. He said, I don't mind him in the third at all. Okay, cool. Like I said, you're talking about getting holes filled at this point. Some people don't call actually their friends first rounder though. Not in this draft. Maybe in another one. I could think of I could probably think about maybe 9 or 10 receivers I would take over him. So just being honest. Let me see. Would picking Parsons at 7 be a same old Lions move? No. And the reason why is because we do have a need at linebacker. And so now I'm not killing them for filling a hole. Would it be the best pick you could have got in terms of the options? No. But because you brought this up, One Pride 40, you did bring me to a point that I wanted to kind of hit on, which is what is the one mistake that the Lions, that could set the Lions back in this draft? There's one mistake I think that the Lions can do that would set this team back in the draft. And it's a move that I don't think we think about, but it is what it is. The number one mistake that can set the Lions back, if they do this, is try to build for Jared Goff now versus building for whoever's going to be the quarterback later. I'm going to say it again. Trying to build for Jared Goff now versus building for whoever's going to be the quarterback later. Now, y'all may be saying, well, if Goff is your quarterback and Goff is going to be your quarterback for the next 3 seasons, why would you not build and help him and support him? Well, you do, but you do it by building a team that if I unplug Goff and I plug in you or I plug in me, it still succeeds. And that's the difference. When you're building for a certain player, that means that you're now tailoring everything to them. And so one of the reasons that Stafford was an enticing pick for the Lions was because they had Calvin Johnson. And they wanted somebody who can just say, look, I would rather you overthrow Calvin than anything else. They wanted that. But let's say we didn't have Calvin Johnson. We probably don't get no Stafford. And so, to me, you have to build your team as if though Goff not going to be here. That it could be somebody else. When I see that to me tells me that we're not the same old Lions. But if they go out and decide, well, we got to give Jared Goff a receiver in a draft that's full of receivers, like you talking about, like I said it before, that I believe that the best receiver in this draft is Ja'Marr Chase. I would not back off of that. But I'm also saying to myself, can I still build up my receiving core without the best receiver in the draft? Yes. With this draft, yes, the hell I can. I can add 2-3 more receivers and still be good. So to me, that's a waste of a pick. I ain't going to kill him because it's a hole, but the number one mistake would be trying to build for Goff now. So let me see. Tuning in from Cali. Hey, man, appreciate that. Luke, we get a linebacker in the second round or a safety? The more I look at this draft, the more I think they're going to trade down just enough to get a linebacker in the first. So I'm going to say we take a safety, in the second. That's my guess. I think they're going to try to trade down and take the linebacker from Notre Dame if he's still there. Or they might decide that, we can trade down and take more of a higher risk on a guy like Parsons. I can see them doing some stuff like that. Let me go down here. A same old Lions move would be reaching for a need at 7 instead of getting best player available. I kind of agree in a way, but in a way I don't, because I think in the past they've tried to do the best player available. If you were to go through the Bob Quinn era minus last year's draft, they went for best player available for need. In this case, I think you have to draft based on that same principle, best player available for need. But the difference that I'm looking at is what are your major holes? Your number one major hole is safety. After safety, your next major hole is linebacker. And then at the linebacker is offensive line. And at the it's wide receiver, then offensive line. And then you go on down the list. But to me, sometimes you got to get the need, especially if there's a talent there at the need. The Lions need a receiver, and Ja'Marr Chase is a good receiver. You're not going to kill him for that. But I do get your point. We definitely should get O-line first round, no doubt. That's my belief. What you think about taking a true speed running back in the 5th round? Something the Lions haven't had since Javid. Man, I miss Javid Best. Javid Best used to make people uncomfortable. I feel like most players when they went against Javid Best, they were thinking so hard on how the hell you stop him, because he will cut and be gone in the next move. So do I see them add another running back? Can he return kicks? Start going through and doing some research and telling me who's the kick and punt returners and that are playing running back. And then I'll tell you, would they take them in those later rounds, like in the 5th? Because I think that's still a possibility if certain players don't fall. But because this draft is flooded with talent at certain positions, I can see that still being a possibility, a very strong possibility. And I can even see it going a step further. If you just count the fact that most of these running backs are going to get overlooked because it's an undervalued position. So when you have an undervalued position, yeah, you could probably get a damn speedy running back. Very much possible. Let me keep going. You really stuck on this Cisco kid. No, it's not just him. It's a few safeties that I like. It's not just him. But but you got to also understand what I'm asking for. When's the last time we had a safety that scared somebody? Like think about it. To me, people like Sean Taylor, right? People like Champ Bailey, Charles Woodson, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Earl Thomas, right? People like those kind of safeties in their prime scared the out of teams. You hear me? Like, teams were nervous. They didn't want to throw in certain areas because those guys can take it. Like, that's where I look at it and I say, what's the point? Those teams can take it. You know, we don't have that safety. Even when we had Louis Delmas used to come down and try to, like, knock you out sometimes, right? And sometimes he would go for the ball, right? But he never really put fear in nobody, right? Benny Blaze put fear in people because he wasn't going for the ball. He was Cam Chancellor before Cam Chancellor was Cam Chancellor. He was trying to kill you, right? I just want that safety. Give me somebody who can be aggressive and dysfunctional and rude and everything else, and I'm taking that guy. Give me that guy. That's the guy I want. That's the guy I need on this team. Because if you got that guy, guess who gets better? Okuda gets better. Amani gets better. The linebackers get better. The D-line gets better. That safety who has the ball hawking skills makes it better. Tyrann Mathieu, a guy that failed because of off-field issues, has been on a few different teams, and people still worry about him because if you ball is in his vicinity, it's his. Where I look at a guy like Cisco, who's bigger, faster, and got way more better ball skills. Does he have flaws in his game? Yes. But I want that type of safety. That's all I'm pointing out. But we need a safety bad, like yesterday. Would you draft a quarterback next year or the year after? Next year. So you got to kind of look at the scale. If at that point, Goff would have already had his trial and error first season. The second season is where they're going to really gauge where he's at. Okay? They're going to really gauge where he's at. And by that time, hopefully, we already got our offensive line complete. We're just constantly upgrading the defense. So I can kind of see us still making those moves there. But you figure if you let them sit for those 2 years that they're going to be evaluating Goff, he still got 3 years of playing with us versus a guy sitting for 3 seasons because I know he's going to sit for 3 seasons. Why? Because the first year is a trial and error year for Goff. They're not going to just be like, oh, you sucked the first year. Get out of here. No. We didn't do it with Matt Millen. We didn't do it with Matt Patricia. We didn't do it with Matthew Stafford. Now, you may be wondering why am I putting all them people in the same boat? It's because at the end of the day, you give people opportunity to prove themselves, and that's what it's supposed to be. So, no, I think they do it next year, and depending on where they draft it, and I think there's some people that's going to be talented enough to come out next year that you will be happy with. So, you think this staff will ride with Goff for as long as possible, or do you see us potentially getting another quarterback in the future? I think they ride with him for 3 seasons. The first season is a get me. He can literally bum out in the first season. He's guaranteed the second season, no matter what, to prove himself, right? If he proves himself in the second season, he's got to try to earn his contract in the third. If he bums in the second season, then it doesn't matter, right? Because at that point, they're definitely going to say, okay, it's his third year. He has now become a bridge quarterback. Just telling you. So, I see them doing it later than anything else. Even without Megatron, it would have been either Stafford or Bradford, though. Nah. And I'm gonna tell you why. Nah, because if you had to go back and look at what they would have did in that Megatron draft. So, Sam Bradford was a first overall pick. I thought maybe I'm wrong. But I thought he was the first overall pick. Stafford was the first overall pick. And so if you go back to that draft where we took Calvin Johnson, the top 4 picks were Jamarcus Russell, Calvin Johnson, Adrian Peterson, and Joe Thomas. The Lions would have took Joe Thomas, then you're right. We would have took any other of those other quarterbacks. But I think the Lions would have said, take the running back. Hindsight 2020, I think they would have took the running back. Because they already had Jeff Backus, and there's no way they was going to bring in Joe Thomas to play right tackle. Not that high. So I think they would have went running back. I just thought of this one. What players do you think we could get in the undrafted free agency? That's a hard one because I need to know who's going to be undrafted. That's like people. I was really high on TJ Edwards. I liked his game out of Wisconsin. He went undrafted. Like, this is not like, and if anybody watched TJ Edwards, you'd be like, yo, that dude can play. Guys like Malik Jefferson, I like his game. He got drafted late. Now he's a free agent. So tell me who's the free agent, the unrestricted free agents. And then I'll be able to give you a better answer. But without that, it's just too hard to say. that could make the team, or better yet, make quite an impact. Those guys are going to count. That's why I'm not tripping about what the Lions are doing. What's a bigger need, safety or linebacker? Safety, 100%. 100%. We got Tracy Walker. Then what? You gonna tell me you ready for the Tracy Walker and CJ Moore show? The Tracy Walker and Will Harris show? You ready for that? Them are 3 safeties. Safety, hands down. Kenneth Gainwell from Memphis. Okay. I'm trying to get to y'all questions. This is y'all opportunity. Whatever y'all want to talk about, y'all open the door up. Let me see. Blaze, the only one I could think. I'm telling you, bro, there's nobody you could think of who was more aggressive or put fear on the Lions defense as a safety once you get past Blaze. I remember when we had Mark Carrier for a minute. I ain't judging you. I get your point, but I ain't judging you. We did have him. Patrick Jones from Pittsburgh, number 91, is the best defensive end. Love to grab him in the later rounds. I think he's a day 2 pick all day. He's a second round pick. If he slide out of the second or third round, I would be freaking shocked. Who are the players we should stay away from any round? Round 1 to any round. See. Okay, this gonna suck. I know it's gonna be some people gonna be like, bro, Trey Lance. I like the kid, but for you to have a brand new head coach, first time head coach, first time defensive coordinator, first time GM, I'm not mortgaging nothing on Trey Lance. I'm just not doing it. If you're mortgaging it on Trey Lance, then that means that the rest of your draft goes around building everything for who? Trey Lance. The Lions are not afforded that right. Another person I would stay away from, not because I don't think that he is a good player or anything like that, but it's Patrick Surtain. Why would you say that, Luke? Why would you stay away from Patrick Surtain? Because Patrick Surtain, to me, does a lot of things that most people would love in the corner. But there's a lot of flaws in this game if you look real close at it. Real close. And to me, we cannot be afforded the right of taking somebody, again, who needs time to develop. And cornerbacks need time to develop. If you're not coming in hitting the ground running, I don't want them. Another person that I would stay away from, again, not because I don't like the player, Darashaw. I just feel like, there's no aggression there. And a lot of the times I can see him getting a lot of holding calls in the NFL because I seen in his film where he just want to give you the Care Bear hug of all love. Receivers, I would not bother because I think that they're going to have some challenges. There's a bunch of them, but let me see. Some receivers I think we should probably stay away from. Let me see. God, so many I'm thinking in my head right now that I just think they just couldn't handle it. Terrence Marshall Jr. from LSU. I will stay away from him. Let me see. Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. I will stay away from him. Not saying that they're bad players. You got to come here trying to prove something that I don't know if you're going to be able to live up to. Because the first thing they're going to do is say, I want to be better than Calvin. No, be you. So I can see us staying away from those kind of people, if that helps your question. Let me see. Nope. Let me see. I'm done. See Goff long term. I don't see Goff long term. 3 years, you need to see that. I'm telling you. 3 seasons, you need to see that. Luke, thoughts on Michigan cornerback Ambry Thomas? Okay, this is crazy. All right, so you like the 5th person that has said something to me about him today. Here's my thoughts on him. It's unfair for me to really put any thought on him because guess what? I feel like Michigan was protecting their season a few times with who they gonna play and not play. They were like picking certain games, like we're going to play this game, we're not going to play that game. I wanted to see him go against some certain players, and I couldn't really see that like I wanted to. And so I have an incomplete for him. I don't feel comfortable enough saying that this is a guy you should be considering, because when I watched his film, after somebody brought it to my attention, I was like, I see some good there, but I see some bad there. But the bad is because we had a COVID year and stuff it was just too much incomplete for me. And I didn't feel comfortable enough even trying to have a strong opinion about him. If I was him, I would have stayed in. I don't know if he's a senior or not, but if he could have stayed in, I would have. And if he's a senior, then God bless you. Whoever you go to better have an already made team. That's my thoughts on him. Let me see. 2022 quarterback class is booty flakes. What the hell? Goff is better than all the draft quarterbacks except Trevor Lawrence. Edward, I'm in agreement with you. I think that at least I know what I get out of Goff. There are certain things that I laugh at because I just sit back. Oh, he can't throw the deep ball. And I'm like, what? Like, I've seen it, but okay. Oh, he can't do this. He can't do that. Sometimes you just have bad relationships. You just do. But here, I'm not asking him to be that guy. I'm asking you not to lose the game for me. I'm asking you to turn around and hand the ball off. And when I call a play action, hit your target. I think he'll be shocking to a lot of people. Let me see. Goff is not better than Zach Wilson. We don't know what Zach Wilson going to be. Right? Everybody was high. I remember a lot of Lions fans wanted Dwayne Haskins. I remember that. I was like, okay, if you take it Dwayne Haskins, whatever. But I mean, I personally wouldn't do it. like this the draft, I get these my options. Yeah, I'm taking this guy. I think they have to decide on Goff option in 2021, though, don't they? I don't remember. But he's guaranteed his money for next year. And so if you do got to decide on it, you ain't got to decide on it until the end of the year. And if you decide not to pick up that option, you still got him for at least 3 seasons. What you think of all of the Mac talk? So I think people are falling in love with the fact. I think it's more so about where he's going. Okay. If you were talking about Mac Jones going to Detroit, people would have a cow. Oh my God, he won't do it there. He won't survive in Detroit. But you're going to a team that's got a number of first-round talented defensive players out there, a team that's got a head coach who has shown that he can make some things happen. If he goes to a team like the 49ers, who's going to really kill him? I think it's weird that they would go that far and trade up to get him. But if you're looking at it from a standpoint that this guy, he's shown that he can do it with the talent around him. My problem is it was so much goddamn talent around him. How could you not do it? That scares me. And then half the time you just turn around, hand the ball off, or hit the dude at the backfield, and off 70 yards they go. Doesn't make your numbers look hard that way. So just depends on where he's going. If you tell him he goes first overall, people will go nuts. But he goes somewhere to like San Francisco, nobody gonna trip. He go to the Panthers, ain't nobody gonna trip. So that's why you hear a lot of talk. What do you think about Tevin Jenkins? That's a grown man. That's a grown man. That's a grown man with bad intentions. Whatever his shortcomings are, don't make no difference to him. All he know is you're in his way. You've been bullying him, talking bad about him. You said something about his mother. You say you don't like his grandma's socks, and he wants you to know that he's not appreciative of those kind of language. I've watched his film, and even when he effed up a block, I was like, you still just going to be nasty. Okay, cool. Again, you can get him if you trade down far enough. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to kill you on these decisions. Mac Jones said he would like to play with San Francisco because of offenses is similar to what he was in Alabama. Okay, cool. Good for him. Let's see. At this point, I would let Harris go and try to pull both Cisco in the second round and Jamar in the fourth. I think Jamar is climbing up a lot of people's boards. I don't think he makes it to the fourth, Cap Ice Code. I think he's climbed up a lot of people's boards because they're trying to make sense of a lot of these players. And these pro days got a lot of these scouts going nuts. The same way these fans going nuts, these players are going nuts too. Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle for Oklahoma State. Yeah, I know who he is. I literally just got done doing some film study on him because I'm finna start dropping some films. Film studies has just been freaking so much work, man. God. God, man, I can't wait to school get out. That's all I'm gonna say. You think the Lions would have skipped Stafford and Bradford and would have went running back at 1 overall if they drafted Joe Thomas instead of Megatron? I don't know about that. Okay. I know I'm behind people, but I'm catching up. Who's the other safety in the draft? Cisco, the only one I really want. Possibly he falls. Richie Grant's another one. Javon Holland's another one I like. Gillespie's another one I like. Let's see who else out there. And these are people down the market can play and got height and range. So what's the dude name? I'm trying to think. It's a few of them. It's a guy. It's a few of them out there. But Cisco's the one I like because of the ball skills. I understand our need to fill definite holes, but I want to focus this year on our strength, which is our offense, to establish an identity. A top 5 ball control offense improves the defense more than any individual player. Right. So if you take an offensive lineman, you are definitely focusing on that because I believe that they want to run the ball. You got DeAndre Swift, you got Jamal Williams, and you got Kerryon Johnson. I need to see the ball on the ground. And you can do that if you complete the offensive line. Hands down. Just complete the offensive line, you can do that. But if you go out and decide to do something crazy like add a receiver, or you decide to go out and get a defensive player because you feel like it's going – no. Because you can have a top 5 offense. We've had that under Stafford. That does not equate to wins. Your goal needs to be to create a balance to where it's a team play. And if you get that, it's cool. But you bring me to another point because this article came up on the Detroit News, and it basically said that the Lions are following the Dolphins blueprint. And so he basically made some observations that really are very similar. And he says that if you're looking for a model for the Lions to follow, the Miami Dolphins might be a good starting point. When the team fired Adam Gase, they were 7-9 record from the 2018 season. The Dolphins ranked bottom 3rd in offense and defense that year. And then it says a roster purge immediately followed with the release of several veteran starters. Tell me this don't sound like the Lions. First person they got up out of there, Ryan Tannehill. What do? Guy asked for a trade. Yep, we give it to you. Say less. Got him up out of here with Stafford. The next person that got up out of there was Jarvis Landry. What do? We're not bringing your ass back, Kenny Galladay. like, it is very mirroring. They let people like Robert Quin go. Like, oh, you ain't, you're not giving me what I thought I was gonna get. Bye. That's another one of them guys that should have had a way better NFL career. But anyway, they let him go. Go to our defense. Another guy who they had high hopes for but never lived up to the hype. Justin Coleman, Dashman Trufant. Keep going on the damn list. We got a bunch of them, right? And then here go the other part of it. It says all signs pointed to the team to tank for the number 1 pick when they did all these moves. But new head coach Brian Flores rejected that narrative the same way Campbell is rejecting the idea the Lions are rebuilding. Flores was able to quickly establish a culture, because it takes 3 years, not 1, and work a scheme in Miami, and his team finished 5-11 his first year, far exceeding expectations. Now, I know somebody's going to say something. How can you say they far exceeded expectations, but they finished 5-11? Because they took a bunch of nobodies, still had a bunch of tough games, and beat a bunch of beat teams that they probably shouldn't beat. And then on top of that, they play hard and they play rough. Look who they had at quarterback. We got a better upgrade than them. So just saying. It says a year later, the Dolphins won 10 games and is now sitting in prime position to build long-term success from the draft class assets that is acquired during their initial roster overhaul. This is why I don't have a problem with what the Lions is doing. It says Persian veteran starters trading away the quarterback and stockpiling draft picks. The Lions are following that exact same blueprint. And I agree with this. This is a beautiful article and question to be had right there. Would you rather have Barry Sanders and no Super Bowl or a Super Bowl and no Barry Sanders? I would rather have the Super Bowl and no Barry Sanders. I love me some Barry, but I would rather have a championship. Only good one is how he reminds me of Baker Mayfield. How? North Carolina? The quarterback? Baker Mayfield. I don't know if I agree. I don't know. I'm to go. Now you're gonna have me going back looking at the two films trying to compare them. Thank you for that one. What up, Luke? Will Dirk's in the building. Sorry I'm late. Hey, but you here. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. Ambry Thomas was an opt-out last year. So what the hell film was I looking at? Does it say what year on there? Then somebody did the wrong date on their goddamn video that I watched because it says 2020. I just didn't have enough information to judge, dog. But thank you. Let's see. What about Asante Samuel Jr.? Do you like his game? I think he's the best corner in this draft. Call me crazy. I think he's the best corner in this draft. The one thing about him that I love is, and it kills me when I see cornerbacks doing this. Do you realize how many more plays a cornerback can make if he just turn his head around? Just turn around. You go and look at Patrick Surtain. Most of the times, you know, he trying to, you know, he just trying to beat up on you and he plays the receiver. Okay. You go to Caleb. Caleb just I'm fast and I'm athletic. Who cares? Okay. Asante Samuel, he looking at you, the ball, where you at, reading body language, ball in the air. Okay, I get rid of you. It's just a different breed. I like Asante Samuel Jr. a lot, and I think that he has a good chance. Nico Collins is a beast. You ain't got to tell me. Go tell Okuda. If he had I'm telling you, I showed y'all the proof. Well, the Rams disappointed next year. Oh, will the Rams disappoint next year? Don't know. I don't think they are. I don't think nobody's expecting them to. My problem with Goff is his turnovers. Did anybody ever ask why the turnovers is happening? Seriously. Did they ever ask why the turnovers is happening? Did you look at each turnover? I remember I had to have this debate about Stafford and all these turnovers, and then I had to go and make a video literally showing him and all his turnovers in one season and saying, oh, I guess that's his fault. Went through all them turnovers that he had, and I literally discovered that only 3 or maybe 4 of them was his fault. All the rest of them was poor blocking or poor scheme set up from the beginning. You just got to look at why these stuff happened. Let's see. Haskins is trash. Steve Atwater, dude, will take your freaking head up, man, dude. He's one of the reasons why I'm a Seahawks fan. I just thought Steve Atwater was seriously the truth. I was following wherever he went. I was like, oh, I like him. That dude's nice. I think they're going to add Dimitroff or a guy from the Steelers. I think they're going to add Dimitroff. Thomas Dimitroff? I thought they was really going to add him as a damn you talking about the player? You talking about players? I don't know. You gotta catch me up. Atwater was a beast. Let me see. I'm getting down here, man. I'm working my way down here. This is y'all's show, so I'm working my way down, people. Bro, we have to believe in the process. We moving different. It's a wait and see what happens before you judge Goff of our new staff. I'm with you, Chris. I'm with you. We trusted Matt Patricia. Well, okay, let me take that back. Let me reel it back. Y'all trusted Matt Patricia's process. I didn't trust shit. Y'all trusted that process. And now we get another quarterback after y'all hated Stafford. Now y'all hate this one. Number 18. That's the 18th quarterback we don't get. Y'all hate. 19, y'all gonna hate his ass too. That's how you know it's a problem. Where there's no quarterback. Come on. Let me see. Gillespie is my favorite safety. To me, he is the best fit for a strong safety at the next level. When you put it that way, one fucking Lion fan can't argue with you. Because if I'm thinking of putting Tracy back to free, I think Richie Grant is the most probably best all around you could put there. But yeah, Gillespie, I can see that. I just want that guy who wants the ball. That's my affection. If the guy who wants the ball is the guy I covet it. Will we go after big names next year? Yes. We'll have more money. The salary cap would be higher. The Lions could end up probably with about 60 or 70 million in cap space next year. Oh, yeah, they go after some big names. But they're still going to be savvy deals. It'd be confusing some join the Lions fans chat and talk bad What kind of fan is that, bruh? Especially when it's not even objective. I've been here since the start, just chilling with the family, and I absolutely love when Jenkins might have had the best hands. Okay, I ain't mad at you. Luke, have you looked into the small school programs besides Rudy Lands and other obvious high rhymes? Just a few. Like, if y'all give me the name, I went and looked them up and just started diving into them. But if y'all didn't give me the name, I didn't look into them. My job is very freaking demanding. It's exhausting. It's emotionally exhausting. And sometimes when y'all give me things to go and research, it helps with my mental. So if you send it my way, I'll go and look. Luke, who was the first free agent you wanted the most from the free agency and why? This year? Corey Davis. Because bringing a guy home to play in front of people that he know, you get more out of them. That's one. Two, he was grossly underutilized in Tennessee. Three, we needed a receiver. And I didn't want no desires of bringing back Kenny Galladay because I knew his price tag was too high and he didn't want to be here. And the other person I wanted was Jayon Brown because I wanted that linebacker so that way I can now really focus my attention on other positions in rounds 2, 3, and 4. So that's why I wanted those two guys. Let's take a tackle from Wisconsin, Whitwater. What round? what round you talking about? You put some context on there. What round you talking about? If you talking about first or second, this is my attitude to it. If I can have the best offensive lineman coming out, who's going to keep me from taking the best offensive lineman coming out, or the second best, or the third best? If I'm now in a position to take a person and I now in the first round take the 5th or 6th or 8th best offensive lineman and they don't be better than what I could have took, I'm going to get my ass handed to me. And that's what's going to happen with the Lions. So, just got to put that in perspective. Let me see. I'm going to go through. I'm hitting on as many as possible. Do you think the Lions will trade Trey Flowers in the next couple of years? Let's look, people. Give me a minute. We're going to look. I have to see what the money looks like. I follow the money. I don't try to give too much opinion per se. I just try to follow the money and see does the money make sense in the scheme of logic. If the money makes sense in the scheme of logic, then cool. But if the money don't make sense, then I can tell you emphatically that probably won't happen because it wouldn't make sense to do anything like that. So let's see. Trey Flowers. Let me see. I'm just getting it set up, people, so we can take a look and see if Trey in trouble. Oh, you want to know what was that one you wanted? In the next couple of years. Oh, let me go ahead and put this on the screen for the people. Yeah. I think Trey he's gonna be in trouble, people. He gonna be in trouble. You said next couple years now, not next year, but next couple of years. All right. Yeah, you have to. I mean, look, right here. Take a $12 million cap hit for next year's draft, right? Like when next year's coming up. But this number is going to be different and adjusted. And the reason I know that is because if you do him as a June 1st cut, that's probably going to get you back like 18, probably about 19 million, right? If you let him go to the next year after, then you essentially just let him walk. They go 18 million right there. So, yeah, he in trouble. And obviously he's going to be on the wrong side of 30. So, yeah, that's not going to go well for him. So, yeah, he in trouble, bro. Hate to break the bad news to you. Luke lost his mind. Asante Samuel trash. Okay. We all entitled to that view. I ain't gonna kill nobody on what they feeling today. You think he trash? I think he the best cornerback in the draft. I like his game. again, you got to keep in mind, a lot of the people that I like, that people say, oh, it's trash, they go on to be successful. Like, if it was up to me, the Lions would have had Buda Baker. The Lions would have had Byron Murphy. The Lions would have had Kellen Ballage. The Lions would have had Corey Davis. Let me see. We would have had Khalil Hodge. We would have had some different players. We would have had Isaiah Simmons. We would have had a number of different people. If you go back from the time I started YouTube and the people I have picked, they have succeeded. The people who I said were trash, y'all tell me where they at. I ain't heard nothing. I ain't heard shit about Greedy Williams no more. That little camp, the Greedy Williams camp, they don't even exist no more. So you ain't gotta like Asante. I think he got a good game. Let me see. All right. It says, I was on the Keep Patricia a third year. What should us fans look for to make sure we never go back down that path? Trust me. The first thing you want to look for when you're watching these games is personnel decision-making, right? So one of the things that blew my mind was in the very first game that Patricia had, you took your leader, one of the team's leaders and vocal leaders of the team, and you benched him for a guy that you knew. There's no reason that Glover Quin should not have had 100% of the snaps versus the Jets. And then he didn't get put in until we started getting blazed up. So you lose to the rookie. You want to excuse that a little bit. So you say, okay, cool. But I also saw in that game after the player personnel, I saw coaching decisions where there are small moments that you got to look for that you say, oh, that was the turning point. And there were a number of games where there were turning points. And this coaching staff, I'm going to be looking at the player personnel. Who in the hell are you putting on the field? How are you deploying your offense? Right? Is your coach over there giving you hell? Right? I'm not saying you got to be all yelling and hoorah and stuff like that, but Campbell going to cuss you out when you mess up. Right? And he's going to be nurturing when he needs to. So the first thing you want to look for is player personnel, coaching decisions with that player personnel. Like, for example, how the hell Tracy Walker was balling at free safety and then became a box safety. That shit don't make no sense to me, but in Patricia's head, it did. And so when I started seeing these little things, I'm like, okay, what the hell? When you got a game where Adrian Peterson is on full-fledged, run loose, run hard, and you decide that the analytics tell you it's time to start passing the ball, which is what exactly happened, you can't get around this. You just can't get around it. So look for those little telltale signs in decision making that lets you know if they should be given more time or not. He never met that standard for me. Let me see. Mara said he loves Steve Atwater as well. Sean Springs. Let me keep going. Cap Ice Cold. Do you think we sign Dunbar next week after a visit? I think everybody on the table. In fact, they're trying to fill a room out. And so he's going to come cheap. And so if you go out and get Dunbar, you already brought in Elder. You already brought back Mike Ford. They go your cornerback room. They're only going to carry about 7 corners, maybe 8. And that 8th one's going to be on the practice squad. So, yeah, I can see them signing him, and they probably should. Fill that room out. Let your 2 starters be your first-round pick from last year and Mario Warrior, and let everybody else earn their spots. Okay, what about Jaycee Horn? Do you like his game? Okay. All right, here's what I like about Jaycee Horn. Okay, I think Jaycee Horn has a uncanny ability to look like he out of position and sneak his ass back in it. I like that as his game. Parts of his game that I wonder about is, like, okay, I'm trying to figure out how to word this without killing the guy. My problem with Jaycee Horn is this, and I just think Jaycee Horn at times is overly confident. And I know this is like a bad knock to have on the guy, but Jaycee Horn sometimes he get too goddamn aggressive. And all of a sudden we get a lot of penalties because he's overly freaking aggressive. That's where I get like nervous at, because he tried to beat your ass all the way down the field, which I'm cool with. But at some point, you got to realize if you're on the Lions, which is one of the things I brought up with Okudah, you think he's going to be able to get away with that and not get a penalty? Nope. And so I like the fact that he's aggressive, but I feel like that overconfidence and aggression, that shit can be a problem. It's not like with him, it's not like no two gears. It's go aggressive and go aggressive again. And that scares me. Like the game, love the player, but I'm looking at our team and how they treat our players. They treat us different. I don't know why they do this, but they treat us different. And so for that, I'm a little worried. So do you think the defense is better than what we all think currently on the roster? I do, because I believe that better coaching makes for a better team. So yes, Detroit's on big wheel. What up, though, bro? Let me see. Need an intimidated safety. I'm gonna skip ahead on some of these questions so I can get caught up, people. He said, "Well, damn, I love cornerbacks that beat your ass down the field." I love it, but you got 5 yards, bro. The NFL is set up for the receivers to score more, for the offense to put up more points. That's why it's a shame that the Lions wasn't scoring 50. It's designed for that to happen. And you know, after about 5 yards, that whistle and them flags is coming out, bro. And I just his confidence is real cocky. And his aggression is there. Let me see. Exactly. Okudah on the Niners D, he better than Ramsey easily. Just depends on how you getting used in the system. Any opinions on Victor Dimuke, defensive end from Duke? Defensive end from Duke. I think they list him as an outside linebacker. Are you sure he's still listed as a D? I'm pretty sure he's listed as an edge rusher outside linebacker. I can double check, but I'm pretty sure. And if that's who I'm thinking it is, because I'm pretty sure they listed him as an outside edge rushing linebacker. But I know I think you and it was like 2 other people who sent me like his film. Not sent me his film, but like, told me about him. And I was like, let me go look at him. I just had to make sure I check his number just to make sure I'm not tripping on who I'm thinking about. And I'm gonna let you know in 1 second. Yeah, they got him listed as an outside linebacker. So if you're keeping that attitude that he's going to stay at the outside linebacker position, then you're telling me he's a 3-4 guy. Now you got to tell me, are we playing a 3-4? So I went to one site, they got him as an outside edge rusher. Then I went to another site, they got him as a defensive end. I'm gonna go to one more. This one got him as an outside edge rusher DN. I mean, okay. Overall, what is my thoughts on him? How does he fit in what we finna do? Not a bad player, but how does he fit into what the Lions finna do? All right. I don't see that mesh. So I can't tell you how he fits into what we're going to do. Who really scared of anyone in the Lions secondary? Good point. That's the problem. That's my problem. And if you get a safety with ball skills, they're scared. It is what it is. That's why the Legion of Boom was so good. Every time you hear about the Legion of Boom, you hear about this following players: Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, Bobby Wagner. Right? You know who you didn't hear about too often? Those defensive line guys. Even when they added Cliff Averill to it, you didn't hear about that. It was the secondary and them linebackers. They beat you up. It's just the way it works. Why would moving Okudah to safety help Okudah? Because he does not have top end speed. He has spatial awareness, and if you put him at safety, you allow him to cover a space. And so now, because he has spatial awareness, all them tackling skills he got, he can do that. Going after the ball now and tracking it, he can do that. You basically unleashed him. But when you put them in corner and you tell them to play man and run step for step with Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Allen Robinson, Moody, Miller, you telling him to run with those people? Can't do it. They're route runners. You can't do it. Put them at safety, they can run every route they want. Now he gets a chance to punish them. That's why it helps him. The same way if you go through and you look at Quandre Diggs. Quandre Diggs got so much better once he got moved to safety. They tried him at slot corners, took him from that cornerback spot, put him at safety. Voila. Got better. I believe Glover Quin used to play corner at one point, then he went to safety. Voila. Not saying he wasn't playing safety cornerback good. He was just damn good as a safety. You get more range. Let me see. I'm more excited for the 2022 draft. Okay. Jury's still out on Okudah. Was it a bad system? Is Okudah just bad? Okay, 100%. I'm gonna tell you right now. Anytime you ask me about any player on the Lions, I'm gonna refer you back to motherfucking Matt Patricia. Who got better in his system? Nobody. Luke, any game on the Lions schedule you look forward to watching the most? Oh, hell yes. I got about 3 games I got that I'm like, yo, let me see those games. The first game is I want to see them go. It's the game against the Browns because a lot of people think I'm crazy when I say we're going to beat them. I feel like they do this every time. They always make it to where the Lions end up playing teams like that because they don't think it's going to get no real viewing early. So I suspect because they're going to do that BS that, yeah, we'll end up playing them in the earlier parts of the year. That's a game I want to see. Another game that I'm intrigued to see is the Rams game. Because if Stafford come up in here and do like all the previous people did, the first thing you're going to hear the haters say is look what he got, blah, 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 and the excuses going to flood out the gates. Not intrigued. So, yes, I definitely got some games that I am spying and can't wait to see. Okay, who do you think is the most overrated player in the draft of any position? Overrated in the draft of any position. Overrated in the draft of any position. If I'm doing any position, I think Trey Lance is probably the most overrated. Followed by Devontae Smith. Because I think those two are going to have a difference in NFL. Their experience is going to be different. I think Trey Lance should have probably stayed one more year. He would have been the second overall pick taken, I think. But, you know, if he come out and they let him sit, they groom him and all that good stuff, great. But he got 1 year under his belt. And in that year, I was horrified at the fact that he really attempts to run these people over. You better not try that in the NFL. If you don't believe me, go talk to Robert Griffin. Knowing how to slide is very important. So, yeah, those two I would probably go with. What up, though, Easy? You want to jump in here and harass me? Jump on the show for a minute. Let's see. Let me see what we got going on here. You think we go heavy player rotation on defense like Schwartz, or you think they do the same at wide receiver? I think that's to be the thing that you're not going to see a lot of heavy rotating players. I think on defense you may see the rotating based on like certain packages and stuff, but like I think that would just be normal. You know how like when we had Schwartz, it was like a new defensive line every 2 damn plays, right? I don't think you see that. I don't think you see that with this coaching staff. I'm gonna be looking to see if I see it, but I don't think you will. Luke, are you the type to build from the back end to the front end of a defense? No, I'm looking at our defense as it stands right now. You got Michael Brockers, who I think is a good D tackle. You got John Penei, who I think is a good D tackle. You got Trey Flowers, who's like, as my man Jim said, better in run defense. Okay, you got a core at the other DN spot, and then you basically just got to say, okay, they add one linebacker. You're going to have a linebacker room that's going to be a little bit improved. But once you get to the damn safety spot, it's dead. When you get to the cornerback spot, once you get past Okudah, once you get past Amani, I mean, what we saying? Mike Ford, we really finna play this game like Mike Ford should be the slot corner? He got to earn that spot. And he going to earn it with people like Corn Elder, right? So the secondary is suspect. I believe in you building it up front. That's just my view, which is why I've been trying to say that I think and I believe that they should take an offensive lineman. When everybody was saying, what about the quarterback? If you cap Stafford, I'd have take the quarterback. But that $19 million hurt. Have you ever seen Warren Jackson from Colorado State, number 9, wide receiver? Yeah, wasn't that you that told me to look at him? Right? That was you. I feel like that was you that told me to look at him. I usually write down the person's name and who told me when I do the video, and I give him credit. But that was you. I looked at him. The question is, where do you think we should draft him? What are you willing to go? That's the other part. Do you hear the interns read the Rappaport and KD DMs? No, I didn't. No, I didn't catch none of the Woodward Sports show at all. Unfortunately, not today. I didn't. Sorry. If Sewell and Slater are gone, the pick should be Parsons. Plain and simple. I see the next Khalil Mack. Well, I can't kill him for doing it, but I wouldn't do that. Because if those two are gone, see, the first thing should be this. The first thing should be to trade out of the pick. The second thing should be, if you can't trade out of the pick and those two are gone, what gives you the best talent? Parsons is not going to change that defense like that. And the reason I say that is because I believe he would be better suited as a 3-4 outside rush linebacker. Now, if you make him your inside linebacker, that's cool. Jared Davis 2.0. He ain't finna cover poop with a blanket. But if you're going to take that risk at 7, I figure you might as well go with somebody that give you more upside. You might as well go with the Kyle Pitts. You might as well go with the Jamar Chase. At that point, because receiver still is a hole for you. But I think I can still get good linebacker play. Like Darius Leonard, a lot of people, when he got drafted, people was like, oh, Darius Leonard, okay. He balls. So you don't have to you got to be able to find those diamonds in the rough. So I just wouldn't do it. Let me see what else I'm missing. Tokyo Russell said Trey Lance do be trying to truck people. Yeah, he do. That junk scares me. Terrifies me to death. Terrifies me to death. Do you think we'll run a 4-3 or 3-4? I think we'll run a hybrid like flex 4-3. I think I saw something in the article where they said we're gonna be running they're expecting us to do like a 4-2-5 or something like that. And I was like, okay, I can see that. That's still a possibility. Let me see. Our safety core is highly sus, man, bruh. Your safety core is CJ Moore, Will Harris, and Tracy Walker. What do you do with that? I mean, seriously. I can promise you Okudah would have done way better in a Terrell Austin's defensive system. 100%. 100%. Do you have any sleeper free agent signings in the upcoming weeks? No, I don't really have none that's sleeper. I like Malik Jackson for depth. He's one of the guys that I like. There's a few people that I think we can get that are now free agents that I wanted before, and it wouldn't cost you anything. But in terms of sleeper, there's not really too many people that you can sleep on at this point for me to be like, oh, they're a sleeper guy. I don't see that. I don't see that. Another thing though, I was surprised that in a way, because I'm trying to figure this out. Y'all tell me, am I overreacting, or maybe I'm looking too far into this? But I had to ask myself this question: did Jeff Okudah kind of like call out Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn? I'm gonna read to y'all what he said. Y'all tell me if he's not talking about the old, like, other guys, if he's not talking about them or not. Y'all tell me. All right. So Jeff Okudah did an interview. This is on the Detroit Free Press if you want to go and follow him and look at this story. All right. He brings up the fact that he had a disappointing first season. This is not my words. This is Jeff's words. He said, not me, but he said he's been rehabbing hard, trying to get himself together and get ready for it. And these, again, I don't want nobody to take it for what it is, but the man said it himself. Okay, tell me if he not taking a shot at the old people. Okudah spoke about his tough rookie season in January when he acknowledged he dealt with dysfunction during the season. What dysfunction? What dysfunction? He said that all his perfect fantasy bubble he lived in as a top corner player at Ohio State had all but popped in the NFL. Is that not a shot? Maybe I'm tripping. Am I reaching? Y'all tell me. I mean, like, did that not sound like a damn shot? Like, he literally is saying, I had to deal with this dysfunction. Then he talks about how he had the perfect bubble in Ohio State to get to the NFL and get it popped. Yeah, you ain't going to have that front seven. You wasn't getting that. You wasn't going to have that safety play. You wasn't getting that. Not in Matt Patricia's system. No. That sounds like a goddamn dig. Like, it just sounds like one to me. Maybe I'm the one that's tripping. Maybe it's just me. Just trying to figure it out. Technical Jeff. Did you see Anthony Lynn is at Sewell's pro day today? He was at everybody's pro day. In fact, the Lions have had a heavy presence at damn near every pro day. And they should. Everybody's on the board. They should. You don't know who's going to fall to you, so you better do your homework on everybody. What is up with everyone and happy Easter? Hey, support to you, sir. Let me see. Let me get down here. Trey Lance, to me, will probably be the next journeyman quarterback in this league. I just think he needs more time. That's my issue. I think he needs more time. Give the man more time. He clearly think he's ready. Maurice Clarett thought he was ready too. That worked out great. Let me see. Gambino says, what up, though? Let me see. Did you check out Jacob Harris? I did. I like what I saw. You know me, I do good, bad, and ugly. The ugly part that I saw, it's another story. Try to get that into a video if I can. B-Hum's like Black Captain Planet. I bet half the people here don't even know who Captain Planet is, man. I was a huge Captain Planet fan. Had me running around here yelling at my mama and shit. Mom, that's a plastic bottle. What is wrong with you? The water. It's dope. Imagine if we can get both Asante Samuel Jr. and Richie Grant in the same draft. Need more cornerback help. Definitely need safety help. I'm imagining with you. He a beast, and I never heard of him. He's worth a 6 or 7 round pick all day. Okay, see, this is why I rock with Steve-O. Steve-O got to get on here too. Steve-O is realistic. He don't be coming in here with these random, like, we need him in the first. He don't do this to me. Scambino said, yeah, you think, yeah, that was a dig. He dug out. He took one at him. He took one at him. They was bums when they came to players management. Yep. Killer Brew signed with a different team. Yep, he's a Steeler now. That's a damn pistol grip 12-gauge shot. Let me see. Trevor Lawrence is the most overrated, and Trey Lance. I think sometimes people be asking to be the first overall pick and don't realize that it might be better suited for you to be like number 13. If Patrick Mahomes was the first overall pick the year that draft happened, he's not Patrick Mahomes. Went to a way better situation. Let's see. Is this Corn guy any good? He was decent. He had about one. He was decent. He fits what they want. A guy with a chip on his shoulder with something to prove that comes at a very cheap deal. So he was okay. I remember him from his college days. And he looked decent, but he's a guy that he's been brought here to prove himself. Period. He could not make the final roster. All these deals they handed out don't mean they're going to be here on the final 55. Give Okuda a good D-line and he'll be all right, but I want him at free safety or strong safety. That's what I think should happen. Is that a damn bung in your picture? I keep on trying to figure out what that is. I need to make that big and see what the hell that is. Sewell might be the right pick. I just think if Sewell gets to the Bengals, I just think he gone. Let me see. I saw Okuda said he's energized by the coaching change too. Yeah, I listen. That's how it started off. He was very energized by the new coaching change. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's these little stabs. I was waiting for somebody to be like, no, it's not a stab. I was going to be like, so was this statement a stab? I was holding it off, technical Jeff. I was going to hold that off and wait for somebody to tell me, like, you reached. And I was going to be like, well, is this a reach? He's energized by the new coaching staff. That's that a reach? Like, these people didn't draft him. Shoot. Is it bad that I want Slater over Swift? No. I think they're both good prospects, but I think Slater give you more option. Slater's that guy that if you like, yo, my guard is out, he'd be like, all right, no problem, I got it. Yo, my center is out. Don't worry about it. I got it. My left tackle is out. Tell the guy, don't worry about it. I got it. Like, that's that guy. Now, Sewell, he or Sewell, as I think he pronounced his name, Sewell, he's a guy that you could put at guard, probably, but I feel like I get more options in terms of like athletic ability with Slater. Slater can get to the next level better. It's just, I don't know. He's just so athletic, man. It's crazy. Let's see. Luke, what are your thoughts on Dylan Moss or Jabril Cox? Jabril Cox, I'm okay with. Moss, Alabama players who are hurt can't do it no more. I mean, I just can't. I can't do the hurt players no more. There was a few players that I was really feeling good about who got hurt and came out and they got hurt again. And if the injuries scare me the most. And then there's other parts of his game where I've seen, he's in a lot of ways one-dimensional. I hate his coverage. Some people are like, oh, he can cover. Okay. And I just feel like we can do better in other areas than to do that, in my opinion. Could be wrong, but in my opinion. Who is the most overrated player on the Lions right now? Trey Flowers. Trey Flowers got to be the most overrated player on this team. He was brought here to do so much more, and he's barely even doing that. And so it's got to be Trey Flowers. Another person who I think is grossly overrated, because I gave you one on defense, I gave you one on offense. I think right now, I think Jamal Williams might be the offensive guy that's grossly overrated. Because the Jamal Williams, I remember, played behind an amazing offensive line. And so there was times where the offensive line did their job and he ran into the wrong hole. But what I liked about him was he did it aggressively. So I'm not going to do it, and I'm not going to act like he's the savior to the running back room. It's just the fact that you got him for so damn cheap that I'm impressed with. They sending people to every pro day because they tying up loose ends for undrafted free agent signings after the draft. Right, you go to every single one. You don't turn down a damn thing but your collar. The more I look into Raz and the more I see there's an athletic trait or size advantage that make that player successful, a few outliers here and there. Yeah, math buns, we're going to try to get him back on so he can break the stuff down. We had a huge thing about Okuda because he know I'm finna. That's why I need to bring him back for it, because he told me Okuda was going to be this. I gotta go back and find the video, make sure I don't misquote him. But yeah, we can get him back on. Let me see what's it. Lawrence is overrated, huh? Yeah, Lawrence. Oh, you talking about that comment from earlier? Okay. Cincinnati might take Pitts. I don't think they do that. Your quarterback just took a horrible injury. Your line ain't good. That man had AJ Green. People forget he got Joe Mixon. They had talent over there. That dude didn't have protection. That's the difference. I'm still complaining. I'm campaigning for a D tackle and an inside pass rusher. Is what will make the edge more effective. Well, you got Brockers, you got Penei, and you got to look at it from this standpoint too. That where are you taking this D tackle at, and whose spot is he taking? Now, if you're getting them for depth purposes, cool. But now, where are you taking the depth player at? Probably not first round or second. Joey Corn Elder has enough speed to not be a liability on the field. And that's like I said. He just fit the mold of what they want. Somebody who got something to prove. Let me get down here. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, people. I apologize if I missed your question. That day that Jock, Pitt, and Chase had their pro day, did Dan Campbell or Holmes go to one of those? They went to all of them. I'm almost sure that they were all at Pitt's one. They was at his. And I'm pretty sure they were at Chase. They was at all of them. I don't think they've missed any real big one. Vitae is the most overrated on offense. I can't say that because I don't trust what Patricia did. I don't respect what Patricia did. I really felt that Patricia handcuffed Darrell Bevel. And then when Darrell Bevel had a chance to do it his way, he was still trying to do it with people who was designed for the Patricia way. So, but I just didn't see enough for me to say it was him in that regard. In the case of Jamal Williams, I saw him on Green Bay. You know, the only time he ran while I was against us. I ain't gonna say it like that, but you get my point. All right, people, let me get to one more topic and then we get up out of here. I got two more topics. There have been some suspected or possible rule changes, and so I wanted to go over this with you because I thought this is intriguing, and I wanted to see how does this affect the Lions. Do you like Terrence Marshall Jr. from LSU, wide receiver, number 6? I do like him, but I like him like way down the draft, like way down, like 4th round. Like I wouldn't be mad I got him, but he ain't as consistent as some of the other people I like. Like I like Kadarius Toney. I like obviously Jamar Chase. I like the guy from Louisville, R2 something. But I like certain people to do certain things for what I expect for us to get done. I just want him to be a little bit later. If you talking about me taking him in the first, second, I'm good. Later rounds, okay, cool. Again, keep in mind this draft is full of receivers. I'm just not high on taking a receiver in a draft that's got this many damn receivers. It just don't make no sense. All right, so let me do this so y'all can see this because I think this is some important stuff. Luke, what's your surprise pick for the Lions at 7? They traded. That's to be the surprise. They traded, but anything that would surprise me would be like DN, cornerback. I'd be disgusted. I'll be disgusted. Oh, I would be disgusted. I'm gonna leave it at that. You want to get me upset? You want to see how I'm gonna act on that day? Go and draft one of those positions. This right here is coming from NFL.com, people. All right, this is the competition committee rule change proposal that they have put out there. They want to eliminate overtime in preseason. maybe I'm confused or maybe I just haven't seen it enough, but why in the hell do we need an overtime in preseason? I'm in agreement with this one. Like, why in the hell would we need overtime in preseason? They practice games. It don't even count. Lions went 4-0 in the preseason and 0-16 afterwards. Who in the hell cares? We don't need that. That's one of the ones I think will and should pass. Right? Another one they won't change is for 1 year only to establish a maximum number of players in the setup zone. So, I think this is because now the players are allowed to go where they want, right? And then you got this little area of, I'm trying to figure out how can I show you this on a picture. Do y'all know what a setup zone is? Let me just try that first. Do y'all know what the setup zone is? If y'all do, let me know. Marshall will be gone before the 4th. I know he is. Just I don't want him here. like you know, that's my point. I know he's going to be gone before the 4th. And if you're telling me I got to take him before that, I don't want him. So that's my point. I guess I was unsure about Han, Brian, Nick Williams is still a Lion, I think. They are. Han and all them people like that, cheap end deals, they got to prove themselves. But to kind of break it down into this, I think that this is one of those ones that they're going to look at, and it'll probably pass because of COVID, right? Another rule that they have brought it to the fold is to expand the probation on blocking below the waist by offensive and defensive players on scrimmage downs when contact occurs beyond 5 yards on either side of the line of scrimmage and more than 2 yards outside of either offensive tackle. So if you're wondering what they're talking about, they're saying that, okay, you know, we got to be able to give our linemen a little bit more room to get their blocks done because they're more athletic. So if they're doing this 5 yards down the field, we should not be flagging this. I disagree with that. You're an athlete. You got a space to work in. Work that damn space. Okay. You know, like that's just how I see it. If you're going to do it, work that space. The other rule change that came up, it's a few of them. And this one was submitted by the committee, the coaches, the subcommittee, and Baltimore. Hold on 1 second, gentlemen and ladies. Hold on one moment. All right. Had to do my daddy duties really quick. All right. So let me get back to it. My apologies. All right. So this was all there. It says to permit the replay official and designated members of the officiating department to provide certain objective information to the on-field officials. So essentially what they saying is this. If the people on the field be like, he was out of bounds when he caught the ball, right? They want somebody that's independent of it to be like, nah, he was in, right? Which you would say, well, that's what they're supposed to do, right, Luke? No. They want a completely independent person who can look at it and say, yeah, that call is wrong, without the person having to necessarily challenge it itself. So to me, another one of those things I don't think will happen because I don't think they're going to make that kind of change in a COVID season. These are rules that are proposed by teams. Chicago says they would like to change this rule, which is to ensure the enforcement of all accepted penalties committed by either team during successive try attempts. So basically, if I'm going for 2 and your team mess it up, we still want that penalty enforced. I don't care if you do get the ball back. I want that penalty to still be enforced no matter what. I think this is fucking stupid. You cannot, if you cannot decide that because, and I think I remember what game this happened in with them, but you cannot decide after the fact that, oh, well, if they gave them that penalty, we had no. The game is what it is. It is what it's going to be. I don't like that idea at all. Los Angeles have asked to add a loss of down for a second forward pass behind the line of scrimmage and for a pass thrown after the ball returned behind the line of scrimmage. So I think this is for those running quarterbacks or for like some of them plays where it's like a flea flicker in a way almost, but like when you like run out here and you throw it across the field back, then they throw it again. I don't see this passing. I don't know why they would make this suggestion, but I don't see it passing. Kansas City said they want to see an expanded jersey number option for certain positions. So what they are talking about is if I am playing wide receiver, if I'm playing wide receiver, I should be allowed to wear number 1. I don't want to see that crap in the NFL. I'm sorry. It is nothing more confusing to me than seeing a very good linebacker and he's got number 24 on. It throws me off every freaking time. I hate it. I know for some of y'all, it'll make a difference. I was mad when I got my first college number, which was 37. I thought that shit was stupid. I'm like, I'm playing linebacker with 37. All right, I'm going to make it sweet. Forget it. But in my head, I really wanted a 50 number, like 55 or something. I'm not with it. In college, I understand why they do it because it's way more players on a college football team than it is on an NFL team. So in my opinion, I do not want to see it. I just don't. Because, you know, like I remember when they moved Mark Berry into linebacker and he capped his 26. I hated it. Hated it. I just don't like it. So that's one of the ones that I hope they say no to. But Kansas City apparently made an issue out of this. Baltimore and Philly want to change the options for winners of an overtime coin toss and create a true sudden death format. So basically what they're saying is forget all this, you get a possession, I get a possession crap. You won a coin toss, and you get first, and then if I don't get it, no. Simply put, if we do, I get a possession, you get a possession, then that's what it is. If I stop you, I stop you. If I don't, or how about we go back to what it used to be? If I win the coin toss, you have to stop me, and if you do, you get the ball back, you score. But this whole you get a target, no. And plus, the way the rule is set up any damn way, I don't even know why this is even a topic for them, to be honest. So it just, I don't know. It just seems dumb to me. Wide receivers wearing number 0. No, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see double zeros on an offensive lineman football jersey. I don't. All right. I don't want to see it. Let me see what else they got on the table. They got a bunch of these little options out here. Oh, this is one which I thought this was funny. Baltimore had a lot of opinions this year, people. Which is basically this, them just adding on to it. To change the option for winners of an overtime coin toss, eliminate sudden death format, and eliminate overtime in the preseason. But that's already up for the thing. They don't want overtime in the preseason. I think that will pass. Y'all already have introduced, along with Philly, that y'all want to eliminate the whole coin toss winner crap in the way it's formatted. I get it. Philly is asking to permit a team to maintain possession of the ball after a score by substituting one offensive play, 4th and 15, from the kicking team 25-yard line for an onside kick attempt. So what this is saying is if my team is down, rather than me get the ball and try to call a play, make it to where you put me at the 25-yard line with a 4th and 15. I get one chance to drop a play to score to tie the game, and you don't got to kick an onside kick. You don't got to worry about me taking the option of starting down the field. I get my one shot here, and if I get it, I get it. And if I don't, I don't. I think this rule is stupid. I think it's stupid. It just makes no sense. It just makes no sense. I say all 50-yard field goals back to back is first miss. So you saying they kick a 50-yard, they get another shot? Give me a little bit of context with that, Mars. All right. This one's the last one right here on this list that I want to bring up, which is Baltimore. Again, they had a lot to add an 8th official who is positioned somewhere other than the playing field with full communication to the on-field officials and access to television monitors. Isn't that what you got those people in New York for? Right? Like, I understand you want to have somebody in real time, but at this point, we just pulling at hairs at this point, right? If you're going to have the replay people in the replay booth doing it, why do I need that 8th person who's going to be on the field somewhere with all these camera capabilities? That, again, Baltimore obviously have some emotional connections. Okay. I played racket football back in the 80s, and my jersey number was 19. I was a right tackle. Wow. See what I'm saying? I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, bro. I swear I don't want to see that. Because believe it or not, one of the things that work in favor of defensive players, especially with the game being modified to make it harder on defensive players, is we do recognize numbers to tell us what your position is. Even if you just go by with a glance, that number lets us know, oh, corner just crossed my face, right? Or, receiver just crossed my face, or tight end just crossed my face, right? Or running back just crossed my face. Fullback just crossed my face. That stuff helps. And now you're talking about me looking at a damn right tackle with number 19? Nope. Not on duty. And I was about 5'6". Damn. Okay. All right. Last topic, people. Last topic. DraftKings. You know those people that do all the sports bet and all that, them people who are not paying me to advertise them. Well, they dropped something, a little bit of a nugget. They believe that the Lions will finish 5-12 and only have one team ahead of them with a worse record of 4-13. That is the Houston Texans. When I saw this and I said, why are so many people so hell bent on the idea that they just so hell bent on this idea that, oh, we just have to take an L. Like, how do you come up with these numbers? Now, I've always been a big component. I played quarterback wearing number 88. Oh, that's giving me a headache just thinking about it. That's so dumb. Not 50, but 50 yards. Yeah, bro, you feel me? Okay. All right. About uniform rules, this sounds dumb, but someday I could see quarterbacks wearing alternate color jerseys like the goalie in soccer. Oh, if that happened and I'm a quarterback, I would be pissed. You have any idea, like, how some of these teams draw up these elaborate read option plays, and now I got a completely different jersey on, whole different uniform? I can see where that ball at all day against your color palette. Oh, hell no. They better not do that. I would be pissed. If you ain't subscribed yet, please do so. But I would be pissed. I was captain of the third string. That's still a captain. Don't remind me about Eddie Murray missing the field goal that would have sent us to the Super Bowl. I play left out. Let me see. We need better officials. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no number changing. I hate that. I just hate it, bro. Even when I was playing Madden and I would run Madden leagues, I told people, like, because people would do that because they know it confused you. I would see like D tackles with number 1 on. No. Give them a real number. So yeah, it's just, I hate it. Lions plans on a new uniform. I'll address that. I thought about this. I went back, and I'm not BS when I did this. I went back and, well, before I get there, let me finish this. I don't think the Lions are going to be that bad. I think we'll be better than what they are predicting. But time will tell. to the jersey. Here's what I would want to see the Lions do with the jersey. All right. Follow me, people. The Lions have always had a silver or white helmet. I went back and looked at all of their helmets, all of their uniforms through all the years. I'm talking about from the very introduction all the way up until now. I want a Honolulu blue football helmet. Stay with me. With a white or silver lion trimmed in black on there. Now, if you got the Honolulu blue helmet, I would want the white lion trimmed in like black. And if it's silver, I would want it trimmed in white. And I would want lion inside of the lion, like lions inside of the lion, right? I would want the top shirt to be white and the pants to be Honolulu blue with a silver stripe on the side of the leg. That's one uniform I would take. I would take a completely white helmet, put the silver lion on it, where it's a double decal in there, where you can see like the city and the lion body. So you can see the Detroit city and the lion with the silver on the helmet, trimmed in blue. And then I would have the jerseys be silver with blue trimming and the numbers in blue trimming, and the pants would be white. I just feel like I come up with like 100 ways to do their uniforms if they do change it. But yes, I look forward to that damn change if they're going to do it. I'm always excited when we do that. All right. Any other questions, people? If not, let me give y'all my positive quote for the day. I appreciate y'all for coming in. I just want to do something a little bit different, give y'all a chance to kind of fire off y'all questions. You know, I'll be right back at it again, probably on Monday, with a chance for y'all to get a different show. Wait a minute, hold on. What's that? I'm gonna have to see your uniform ideas in real life, Luke. They sound interesting. Listen, bro. I'm gonna find a way. I gotta find my old 2K football game. I gotta find my old football game. Once I find that game, I'm gonna see if I can recreate it. But I'm telling you, it'll be fire, bro. Snow OG says, "What up, Luke? What up, though, man? I'm about to get out of here now, man. I've been on for almost 2 hours. But I appreciate you for coming through. You definitely gonna go back and listen. This is y'all chance to ask me whatever you want. I addressed it. I gave you my honest review, objectively, and we went from there. Here's my quote for the day, right? I like that blue paint with the silver or white stripe. If I'm saying out there, I'm just saying, bro, all our helmets have always been silver. What if that helmet was blue, or you know what I'm saying, Honolulu blue with the white lion with the, bro, I got ideas in my head. They're gonna have to pay me for them though. They're gonna have to pay me for them. All right. Here's my quote for the day. Some people need excuses just to justify their fears. It makes life easier. But the strong make opportunities to justify their hard work fighting through those fears. Some of us right now just, damn, you are sitting up there 100% genius. And the only thing stopping your brilliant mind is you, because you're afraid to take a leap. Somebody right now in this chat is listening that has $1 million idea or $100,000 idea, but they too damn afraid to step out on it because they just think, oh, what about this and what about that and what else and whatnot. See, it's easy to make excuses to justify the fears. That's what makes it easy. But the reality is this, that at some point in time, you need to make opportunities to fight past those fears. So that way that $1 million or $100,000 idea can now flourish. Half of y'all in here are business-minded people, hustlers at their best. Some of y'all are street pharmacists. You know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't need to explain it. You can measure things in your hand like an old grandma making a beautiful cake. But you don't know how to take all that and put it together because you have all these different fears. Well, know this, that fear in and of itself is the only enemy that you will ever face. And if you beat that, the world is your oasis. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you for rocking with me. I wanted to give y'all a chance to ask me as many questions as y'all could. I will be back at it again on Monday with a bunch of content and live shows talking about everything and all things Detroit Lions. Try to keep this going as long as I can. And if you're enjoying it, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. As always, take this great advice because it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Don't be no chump. Please do your research. I'm out.